John McCain is trying to win over disappointed Hillary Clinton voters, especially women. But according to a brand new poll by NARAL, the pro-choice organization, independent and Republican women are more likely to cross over and vote for Barack Obama instead of McCain. Obama leads McCain 53 to 40%, and this was after respondents were presented with the candidate's views on abortion. Cecile Richards is the president of Planned Parenthood, and Sabrina Schaffer is with the Independent Women's Forum. Sabrina, I wonder if you will acknowledge that John McCain's pro-life position means that he's at odds with essentially most women on the issues of abortion.
Look, I think what's interesting about this is that we're talking about the women's vote, and we're sort of assuming that because women share the same anatomy, they're somehow going to share the same political convictions. And I think that that's sort of, it's off. It's a little ridiculous to think that way. So I'm not sure that this is a done deal for Senator McCain. I think he has to make the case.
But Sabrina, can you point us to one poll in which a majority of women said that they agreed with the pro-life position?
Right. I don't know. At this point, we're 5 months out from the general election, and I think to look at any poll numbers and take them too seriously at this point is off. I think especially when we're looking at women who are known to be making their decisions much later in the game, to look at the poll numbers in June, right after Senator Clinton has dropped out of the race, it just doesn't do much good for anybody.
All right, Cecile, maybe I'm missing something then. Do you think that women will go to John McCain when they hear more about John McCain's position on issues of abortion?
Well, actually, I think it's a whole basket of access to affordable health care for women. And I think John McCain has a 25-year record with Planned Parenthood of voting against. He's voted against everything we've supported in terms of making health care more accessible and affordable for women. And I think as women find that out, they frankly go to Senator Obama. We see in NBC's own poll, I think a 19-point spread of support for Senator Obama over Senator McCain. And again, that's because certainly, too, the Senator Clinton supporters are seeing that her record and Senator Obama's record are very closely aligned. Their positions are very closely aligned on women's health care issues. And Senator McCain is frankly just very out of touch on women's health care needs.
But Cecile, I'm sort of wondering if you're disappointed that. Well, hold on one second. And Cecile, I want to ask you if you're a little bit disappointed because all of what you said is true, but you haven't heard a word about it from Barack Obama. It's almost as if he doesn't even want to talk about women's issues right now. Oh, actually, well, I disagree. In fact, we at Planned Parenthood, we have a long history of working with Senator Obama on a whole host of women's health care issues, on affordability and accessibility of family planning, breast cancer screening, the like. And I think that certainly now that it's a general election, you're going to see a big focus on access to affordable health care for women. I think in the primary, the candidates' positions were very similar. I think when you see the difference between Senator Obama and Senator McCain on these issues, women are going to continue to move to Senator Obama, and particularly independent and Republican pro-choice women. Sabrina, I interrupted you before. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I wanted to point out that the Pew Center for Survey Research did just do another survey, and they found that abortion is actually at the very bottom of the list in terms of people's top priorities. And I think what we need to remember is that women, like men, are going to be voting on some of the big ticket items, national security and the economy. And I think when people see Senator Obama's record on national security and when they realize that he doesn't have any foreign policy experience, that's going to be a liability against him. And when it comes to the economy, I think especially when we're talking about women who are concerned about their financial security and their security in the workforce, they're going to want a president that is not going to be a traditional tax and spend liberal, but somebody who's going to help us promote more free market policies.
Sabrina, that's a good point, but I want to get back to this issue, though, of women's rights and abortion, and clarify for us, is it your position and is it John McCain's position that abortion should be restricted?
You know, I can't speak for Senator McCain. I think that this is, you know, his issues are going to have to, he's going to have to speak to the larger issues that are facing women.
Then speak for the Independence Women's Forum. Yeah. Is it your position that abortion should be restricted?
You know, I don't actually think that IWF takes a position on abortion.
It doesn't? It doesn't say that abortion ought to be made, that abortion ought to be restricted, and that women, that the access to abortion ought to be restricted?
No, our focus is actually on economic issues, on education, like school choice, and on national security.
So I'd really love to pick up on this point if it's because I think it's important to understand very clearly. Senator McCain has a 25-year history of voting against women's health care issues, and he has said publicly that his commitment is to overturn Roe versus Wade. So it's very clear. It's very clear where he is. I think what's important, and Sabrina's mentioning that the economy is an important issue in this election, and Planned Parenthood absolutely agrees. And so I believe that women's access to affordable health care for themselves and their families is going to be a paramount issue. And that's where I think Senator McCain has found incredibly lacking. It's not only his position on Roe, it's his position against opposing women's health, family planning access, opposing the programs that support women getting affordable breast cancer screenings. This year, he even voted against the program that would have covered children's health insurance. So I think on a whole host of bread and butter economic issues that relate to women's health and families' health, Senator McCain has a record that is going to really cause him problems with women voters.
Cecile Richards is the president of Planned Parenthood. Sabrina Schaffer is with the Independent Women's Forum. We thank you both for coming on today.
Thanks so much for having us.